Good morning everyone and welcome back to a late episode of Bareham Engines. So guys, as you all know off our second channel, we did a track day at Thruxton yesterday. That is why we didn't put a video out on the main channel, I'm afraid. I haven't been very well, so I didn't really get to do any footage, and I'm just still ain't great, to be honest with you. So I'm going to put one out tonight and I'm going to put one out tomorrow for the main channel. So firstly, before we head out into the workshop, I just want to thank everyone for coming over to Thruxton yesterday. Had a thoroughly good day, really enjoyed it, learnt a lot about the car, learnt a lot about a fast track. Secondly, as far as the last video goes on this main channel, read quite a few of the comments on me playing a bit of a joke. Don't want to dwell on it anymore. Yeah, some of those comments sort of hit home. Some of them were a bit sort of harsh, but there we go. Everyone's entitled to have a say. I just want you to know it won't be happening again. Won't be playing any more jokes. I do understand that many of you people take this as and what we say as sort of very informative and educational, and you may use the practices that I say on here for yourself. So I won't be doing that again, guys. I'll just be telling you exactly how I do it, and that's it. So moving on. So let's get out in the workshop, guys, and we have a little update on the Rover P4 engine, the 6-cylinder, the one that has been burning oil. Yeah, so luckily we found something obvious, but let's get out there and I'll show you. Right then guys, first job of the day. I've come into a load of barrels here, so I'm just sorting myself out. There's some Harley barrels over there on the floor, which I've only got, I think they've got about 8 thou to be bored out, so we'll just rough them out and then finish them off. Not worth boring them. That's why they're over by the Delapina. But we've got a couple of Harley barrels here that have got to be bored out pretty much 1/2 inch per bore. So these are going to be on here for a day or so. I've got the first one down there chomping away. They're going from about 4 inch to 3 inch to about 3.5 inch bore. So that's what I've got going on at the minute. But guys, the Rover, the P4 6-cylinder, the one, just to recap, this is Ken Newton's, the one that came in. He bought the car in and parked it out there once. We did a bit of a video on him. It was the blue and the yellow one with the white roof, all graphicked up. Bit of fun for Ken, lovely car. He goes and does shows, etc. with it. He was so happy with the engine. It was smooth as anything, ran like silk, but unfortunately it started smoking more and more and using oil. So we've had it back. Obviously we'll reimburse Ken, sort it all out, no issues whatsoever. And he's a really lenient, chilled out guy. So, but like I've said to you before, any issues, whether it be good, bad, our fault, not our fault, we put it on the channel, guys. So I did say to you in a previous video, once we get the sump off and the pistons out, we'll see if we can find anything wrong with the rings. And we've actually found something. Now, in a way, it's a good thing that you find something, because then you know what the problem is. Sometimes there's nothing worse than stripping it and not actually finding anything, because the last thing you want to do is put it all together and still have an issue. So first thing we've done, we've obviously took the pistons out, checked all the bores, and the bores, we've measured them, and these are about 1/2 thou over what they recommend as the tolerant, the piston to wall clearance. So no issues whatsoever there. There's still a little bit of room on these old things here. You can go plus 1 thou, so there's still a little bit more to take out there if we need to. There's a few what look like scores in the bore, but they're not scores. You can't feel them at all. They're just the scratches, usually from the very edges of the rings when you've done the ring gaps. When they're bedding in, they can sort of go like that, but there's no issue there. You can't feel them, but we shall take a little bit out of these bores anyway. So they're not glazed, nothing like that, and they all measure absolutely fine. So what did we find on the pistons? Now, checking each individual piston, they all obviously look oily, and obviously when they're running in they sort of can use a bit more oil. So the first thing we do is check all the rings. We've checked the ring gaps, and they all are fine. Just make sure that each of the rings is sort of free in the grooves. Now, Ken and John, they don't like this type of oil control ring because it's very, very stiff in there. You've got the bottom bit, it's a 4-piece, so you've got the bottom bit that pushes the outer 2 oil control rings out, and then you've got this bit in the middle that spaces them, pushes it, fills the groove basically. But they all look like they've been bedding in until we get to number 1. If you sort of look around the ring, you can tell it's sort of bedding in by the wear pattern. So when we get round to here, you can see on the second ring in particular, there's a dark area. So that has not really bedded in at all, around about 2 inches of the ring. And as you can see here, there's a mark on the piston, and what that has done is pinched all the rings. The top is a little bit freer than the others, but the second ring and the oil control ring are pinched in there. So that, in a way, good news, because we found a problem, but obviously it's a problem, so it isn't good news in that respect. But that is, I would say, definitely the issue with the burning oil. What has caused that? What has caused that mark, you may well ask? Well, looking at that, because there's like a definite sort of line there where it's sort of pinched, it's almost pinched that in. I suspect what may have happened is because this block has got a tapered face as opposed to the bore, so basically the face of the block is not at 90 degrees to the bore. It's on an angle here. It's a bit difficult to get the pistons in. John doesn't remember starting them with a ring clamp, but usually if you do start them with a ring clamp, like Ken has pointed out, the ring clamp can get sort of pushed down the side of the piston, and then when you try to push the piston rings down the bore past the ring clamp, it can sort of mark the piston and bugger the rings up. So that looks like what's happened, but John sort of insisted he hasn't used a ring clamp. So at this stage, we're not 100% sure what's caused it, but obviously something's caused it, and we're certainly not going to be putting them back in with a ring clamp. What I normally do is put them in and feed each ring in, with the gap being the last bit that goes in. That's how I normally fit these. On the plus side, guys, we found a problem. Obviously, it's an inconvenience to Ken, so we said, whatever the cost is, Ken, not a problem, we'll sort it. It certainly is not ideal that we've had this issue, but all you can do is just, you know, sort it out, try and keep the customer as happy as you can, rectify the issue, and we don't want these engines to go wrong any more than you do, guys. So yeah, it's an inconvenience for everyone, but we're sorting it, and we shall get probably a new piston, new set of rings, deglaze the bores, and put the thing back together. And I think we've found the problem there. Right, so the MR2 engine, you can see there, Isaac has been very busy. Now this is, apart from some of the machining work, this has been Isaac's baby. This is the first modern engine he's done. He started off, I would say fortunately, on the older stuff. So he's halfway through a Series 1 Land Rover petrol there, which we're waiting for cam bearings on. That's another story which I'm going to go into in a future video. But he started off on the older stuff. Now, in some respects, I would say the older stuff is more tricky to build than the new stuff. You know, you've got to try and overcome oil leaks, which back in the day were accepted, and just standard stuff. But these days, you can't have them leaking. You can't. Everyone wants them to run like clockwork, like a modern engine. So it's very difficult to build them. But this is the first one he's done that's a modern, I would say a modern type engine. I give him a little run through this morning, obviously, to set the vernier pulleys up. So the owner sent me the data on these Piper cams, and we've got 108 degrees after and before top dead centre on the inlet and exhaust. So I've showed him how to set all the verniers up. We've done that, and as you can see, guys, it's looking absolutely lovely now. So that is almost done. He's got a few little bits to put on there, and that's his first modern sort of racy motor to his name. So let there be many more, and well done, Isaac. So there we go, guys. This is yesterday's video today. So I've put out a video today from the second channel. So that was on earlier. Then you've got Monday's video on the main channel today. And then I'm probably going to do another one tomorrow. Who knows? So that'll keep you busy, guys. Something to watch. But yeah, as far as today's thumbnail and title goes, you know, it's good news, I suppose. We found the problem on the Rover. What the cause was, I don't know. But I sort of have my suspicions, but I suppose the point is we are sorting it out. But it's going to give the viewers with the negative comments a field day there to comment down. Barham Engines does another warranty, has another warranty issue. But on a plus, guys, yesterday when we was away at Thruxton, John tells me that we had a little visitor. So I've come into the office today to a couple of absolutely fantastic drawings. He said that a gentleman came in yesterday with his young daughter, Aria, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. Beautiful name, Aria. And she came in to see me and she was quite upset that I wasn't actually here. So it's one of my young viewers. So it's wonderful to hear that a young girl like that is interested in our videos here at Barham Engines, and she brought us some beautiful drawings. So she's drawn me, got some flowers here, look, with a couple of jewels in the middle, bless her, look, and the Barham Engines kit car there, and we've got a bit of blue sky up the top, and also here we've got the Barham Engines van, look, and from Aria, and she says, what does she say on the back? This was a card here. To Lee, hope you have a good day. Thank you so much, Aria. Please, to Dad, please bring her back in to see me. Would love to see her. And I'm going to stick these up on my wall underneath the Barham Engine sign, I think. But yeah, thank you very much, Aria. I'm sorry I missed you, but I'm sure we'll see you again in the near future. But until tomorrow's video, guys, thanks ever so much for watching, and we'll see you then. Take care.